Accepting on behalf of George is his wife, Susie. George was a member of the JV basketball team that won the Sierra Foothill League Championship in 1942. He was California basketball champion at Sierra College in 1950. He was also named the most valuable player of that tournament. And he was also named Athlete of the Year for Sacramento State in 1954. So would you please congratulate George Goto and his wife Susie in accepting.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all the players that play for George and their wives. I just want to say hi. This evening, George could not attend tonight due to advanced illness and is very sorry he has to miss this occasion. But you know what his doctor said? George, you should be gratified. There's so many people that love you, and you live to a very wonderful, luxurious year of 91. So, therefore, you get me, the pinch hitter. My name is Susan, his wife. We have our son, Eric, and his wife, Deborah, sitting at that table way over there. Stand up, guys. And our grandson, George Goto. Stand up, George. We have a daughter, Leslie Goto Panesci, and family, Aldo, Evie, and Anthony. They were unable to attend this evening. With humble gratitude, we thank the Placer High School District Board, administrators, and the selection committee for this prodigious induction to the Placer High School Athletic Association's Hall of Fame, which appeared to be a seemingly awesome story in itself. George's journey began in 1942 at Placer High School. That's 75 years ago. I'm not that old yet. And the journey winds up here at Placer High School tonight, which is befitting. His life began in Placer County as he was born in Penryn. And he has always lived in Placer County, except when incarcerated for 4 years and volunteered in the Army for 3 years. It's very evident he loves Placer County. In 1942, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's Executive Order 9066 incarcerated 120,000 Japanese Americans of the West Coast states after Pearl Harbor was bombed in December 1941 by Japan. In 1946, George volunteered to join the U.S. Army. The Army orders were for him to become a paratrooper in South Carolina training camp. But because he didn't exactly like heights, the Army sent him to language school in Presidio, Monterey. But there's a cute story behind this. As he was coming back from South Carolina, a conductor befriended him. "Soldier, where are you going?" "I'm going to Sacramento." "But where's your hometown?" "Penryn." "Penryn? We don't stop there, but we're going to make sure we're going to stop there so you could get off and see your family." I thought that was, George is mellow, so everybody wants to take care of him. After language school, he was sent to General Headquarters in Tokyo, Japan, under commanding officer General Douglas MacArthur, to become a translator for Japanese prisoners returning from Russia. Because his athletic abilities were found out, he was recruited to play baseball for the U.S. Army team as a pitcher instead of his assignment as a translator. The talent scouts for the Tokyo Giants wanted to recruit him, but he chose to return to the U.S. and pursue his college education under the GI Bill. He was the first Japanese American to receive his secondary degree and master's in education in Northern California. His first teacher-coach position was at Roseville High School from 1955 to 1962. Then, one night about 10:30, he received a phone call from President Harold Weaver of Sierra College asking if the Sierra College basketball coach is there by chance. That's how he found out he was the head baseball coach at Sierra College, his old Placer College alma mater. I've never seen him so excited. He was grinning from ear to ear. What a celebration. 14 years later, George and a team of Sierra College coaches were invited to give various clinics to the high school coaches in Bolivia, thanks to Jimmy Gwynn of Grass Valley. The coach's job was to expound on techniques of the games which the Bolivians accepted graciously. Because Sierra coaches were accepted heartily, the communication was in Spanish, and guess who was the translator? George. But being sport is an international language, everyone involved enjoyed the experience tremendously. Of course, they were treated like kings. George became Dean of Physical Education and Athletic Director before retiring in 1986. After retirement, he volunteered his time to give back to the community, which is very important, young people. He was a supervisor for the LPGA on the range for 10 years, served on the City of Roseville Parks and Recreation for 7 years. Supervisor Bill Santucci appointed him to the Placer County Fish and Game Commission. His favorite pastime, how could you guess? Fishing and golfing. Well, last but not least, the City of Roseville honored him with a park for George. His motto, catch this, don't be late, be on Lombardi time, which all his ball players had to heed or be left behind to go to their games. Star of the team or not, George was a class act. You know, the third grade teacher wanted George to come visit her class because her children went to George Goto Park to play. That was Stone Ridge Elementary School. And so after George's talk, he said, is there any question? Anybody want to ask questions? This young little third grader, I have a question. Yes, young man. I want to know why your mother named you after a park, George Goto Park. And George said, I guess she liked the name George Goto Park. Again, the Goto family cannot express our heartfelt thanks enough to all the persons responsible for bestowing the amazing Placer High School Hall of Fame honor to George after 75 years. This is truly a huge moment in his life. The emphasis of importance is that he is here in spirit to extend his appreciation to all of you for the epitome of his career as player, coach, teacher.